There, yeah, that's muted. That's great.
Right.
What?
But what's still be the intro?
I'll take
I'm
care of
gonna
it.
have an intro. Okay,
I've
cool.
got this. Kind of.
Yeah. All right. We'll go wing it.
Yeah. Why not, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah, I can just have that up. Oh, that is so helpful. Okay.
What?
Uh, it's just this little thing you can do on Windows 10 where you can have like multiple windows stacked in a certain way.
Hmm.
Super helpful. Um, what the fuck? Whoa. That's not helpful.
What?
Okay, can't do that apparently. This is why we learn. Um, put that back on full screen. Put Skype back on full. Everything needs to be on full screen, I think. And then OBS software back on full. Yeah, like that. Check Twitch again. There. Okay, now it's how it's supposed to be. Okay.
What did you do? Because I
What?
see two faces on my.
Yeah, that's what was happening. As I was doing that stacking thing, it made that happen, so I can't do that on the computer. Um,
Ah.
but that's why we learn. All right. Anyway, are you ready to do this, Stephen Raymond?
Well, no, no.
All
This is
right.
real and creepy. No.
Welcome, everyone or no one, to Off Your Rocker episode 1. The doctor is in. I am PJ Krause, and with me today is
Steven.
Stephen what?
I'm not saying my last name. You say it. You
Stephen Moore.
just
Why won't
introduce.
you say your last name?
You can introduce me. You were doing such
And
a
his
great time
social
and everything.
security number is. No. Uh,
What? It's.
no. So, this is a little explanation needed. This is our first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Um, explanation needed. I just said the doctor's in. Clarification: I am not a doctor at all.
Yes, pretty clarify that.
Um, also, I am not a fan of therapy, but this is kind
Doctors.
of what this podcast is going to be about. It is a maybe weekly, maybe I don't really know yet. Maybe weekly, maybe bi-weekly. I don't know. Therapy
It's just
session.
gonna be whenever he needs his therapy session.
Yeah, kind of a need, I guess. I don't know. I kind of want to make this like a regular thing, though. I kind of want to get back to that.
That's fine with me.
So we'll see. I'll have more information about that as it becomes
Soon.
available. But this is kind of a possibly scheduled therapy session for me and my friend Steven here. If he wants to be on every episode, maybe we'll have different people on. Right now, it's me and my best friend here, Steven.
Yeah, I'm his best friend now. Cool.
You've always been my best friend. Also, why is this going to be a scheduled therapy session? Because I cannot speak for my friend here, but I can definitely say that I am kind of mentally fucked. I have had I don't know if you'd call them mental illness problems all my life, but I guess that's the way of saying it, right? Like I've had things wrong with my brain pretty much all my life.
I would say, well, see, if we go by society standards, yes, both me and you. But I don't know. That's just one of the questions that we would talk about later on today. But
Yeah.
tonight on this podcast.
Yes, we're going to be talking about that. Yeah, I can say for me anyway that I've definitely had like some kind of mental, if you want to call it mental illness, all my life. I started out with Tourette's, and then I suffered from like I've had Tourette's all of my life. And later, I'm 21 now, so I've lived a short while on this earth. Right now,
Yeah.
and a little bit in the past, since I was 16, I've suffered from severe anxiety, panic attacks, really bad panic attacks, and I have suffered from some depression. We can get into that a little later. So
Yes.
that is why this is kind of a scheduled um, therapy session for me and for Steven here if he wants to be on every time, or if again
I
if we
have
have other
no
guests or
issue
whatever.
with that.
Um, so yeah, that's that, and uh, yeah, so we're kind of at least like I said, I'm kind of mentally fucked on that note. Also, if you want to keep up with this, because again, I'm going to be doing more of these later on. So if you want to keep up with it, I don't have really a Twitter account for Off the Rocker, which again is the name of this podcast. But I do have my own Twitter. It's at Phil Medieval on Twitter. If you want to, you can keep up with all the stuff I'm going to be doing for this podcast there. Um, so yeah, you can totally do that. Keep up with me there. Um, whoops. Sorry, I have all these windows open on my laptop currently to keep up with stuff. All right. Also, reason for this podcast is that I've done this. This is the third podcast I've ever done in my life. I first off have just been missing podcasting. Like I have been wanting to do more of it. I missed like the kind of creative process that goes behind it, and I missed the outlet that it gives me to do so. Because I mean, like when, the podcast we used to do, the two before, it was Scheduled Chaos, and also the one before it, which was Talks with the Unknown. It was kind of this creative and emotional outlet that we all got to do, and I moved to Florida, and we kind of stopped doing it, and I've missed it. I don't know about you, but I definitely have.
Yes, I missed it. It gave me, you, and Cody Aaron a place where we could just come together to talk about interesting facts and
Yeah,
ideas and religion and stuff like that. So I missed it. I learned a lot of the interesting stuff about
yeah.
people.
And
So
this is kind of going to be a little. It'll be a little bit like that, but it's more of a it's more structured, and it's going to have more of a topic to it, which is basically us talking about kind of our
the
problems and
crazy.
like yeah, our craziness problems and like mental
Mm-hmm.
illness and stuff like that. Which is another reason I started this. I've noticed a lot lately. A lot of people have been saying not enough people talk about like mental illness as a topic of discussion. And
Mm-hmm.
while I am no expert in it, I can say that I've suffered from it. I guess you could say,
Nobody
like
said, look at me,
suffered
you're
and
not
still do. I no way consider myself an expert. Like I'm not. I don't have autism. I don't have anything like that. If that's what you consider mental illness, I don't know like the strict like what you can call like what you can have and then call yourself like, oh, I'm mentally ill. I don't know exactly what that is, but
Mm-hmm.
um,
You have firsthand experience
yeah,
at
I've first
least.
been experience with mental problems, and I still do. And also, another podcast is this is going to kind of just be a place to vent, like for people to come on and vent about their problems, like the issues they're having that day. Like I have
Mm-hmm.
severe anxiety and panic attacks, and I can come on and just say, "Fuck, I've been hating X, Y, and Z," and it's been making me feel
Okay.
like shit.
So any problems that we come across during the day that makes us feel shitty, we could talk about.
Yeah, like anything that gives you like
Okay.
that affects you in a negative way that you just need to vent and you get off your chest. This is kind of a scheduled therapy session in that way.
So
Uh,
this is kind of like a bitching session.
a what?
A bitching session.
A bitchin' session. Sure, we can call it that if you want. Um,
Okay.
what do you want to call it? I said at the top of this podcast that I hate therapy. So why would I be doing a therapeutic podcast of sorts? Just because the reason I risk having this podcast and whatnot, this seems like the right way to go about this. But I have tried actual therapy before, and I know you have too, Stephen. Um,
Yep, I have to.
we can talk about that a bit. My experience with it, the first time is when like I first started having, not when I first started. No, I was having panic attacks and having like this bad anxiety disorder, and I got a job at this electrical plant at 18. I've been having these like, problems since I was 16. Um,
Mm,
and when I was 18, I got the problem. I got this job at an electric plant, an industrial electric plant, and I lost that job due to my panic attacks because it was a safety issue. And they said,
Mm.
oh, well, you can come back if you resolve these issues and stop having panic attacks. Like, okay, I'll try that. This isn't exactly a problem you just solved. So I went to doctors and all this, and they recommended me go to therapy. And like a lot of people I talked to, family, friends, like people that was like, oh, what's wrong with you? Like a panic attack. So like, oh, maybe you should go to therapy. Fuck it. Enough people have said it that I'm willing to try it.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to therapy. I go to see this one doctor, Dr. Thornton, and it was when I lived in Alabama,
Yeah.
and saw him, and it was just a lot of just. He would ask me a question like, "Well, do you think your problem stems from your relationship with your father?" I'm like, I don't know. Like, well how was your relationship? And I tell him how the relationship was. It was great at first, then it became really shitty in the end. And then I tell him that, and he'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, that's interesting. How do you feel about that?" Like that was every day. It was just like question one, question two.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that? Like just constant and annoyed the shit out of me. And I'm not a very talkative person about my feelings to just random people, like at all. Like
I
the Kraus
mm-hmm.
way is just bury it
Suck it
deep
up.
inside and just suck it up. That's kind of the way
I got you.
I've handled most things. But that being said, I'm also kind of an open book with my friends and not so much with my family, but with my friends, I'm kind of an open book when it comes to this shit.
Some friends, yes.
But with you guys, I definitely am. The four friends that I
Oh
have,
yeah.
you, Cody, and Aaron, like with y'all, like y'all can ask me anything. I'm like, oh, this is it, and it's gonna be truthful. Um,
Mm.
yeah, that's like what's my first experience. What was your first experience with therapy?
Okay, so my first experience with therapy was sometime before your experience with therapy because I'm older and I'm 22. Um,
By a year, whoop de fucking do.
I would just say I went to therapy way before you did. A couple of months before you did, I think. Sometime before you did. I was
Yeah,
anyway. Regardless, I was in the military
yeah.
and I was in the Marines and all that shit, and went through basic shitty time. I had pneumonia the whole time. It was just a shitty time. Nobody liked me out in basic and all that, so I had a shitty time there. Went to well, I went to Jacksonville, North Carolina. Then I got done finishing boot camp. Did some time up there to finish my training and all that. Again, my first time up there, shitty time. Then I got injured, and then I had to do the whole process again. So it was
Mm-hmm.
shitty time again.
Yeah.
But it was also a better time than the first time. I got back here, and I got to my unit here because I decided to go to the reserves station and all that. So I got back here, joined the reserves here, which is Alabama and all, and the first sergeant was good, but all the other ones was good. The thing with military and the Marines, and I don't know about other branches, but it's just people like who has the bigger dick, and then you got a lot of little small people who are like, if I suck his dick, then maybe I'll push myself up and all of that.
Yeah.
And PJ, you know me, I'm not the type of guy who sit there and suck up to somebody. I'm gonna be brutally honest, and I'm a nice guy. You don't mess with me, I don't mess with you, kind of.
Yeah.
All right. So, well and behold, I'm not that likable person.
Yeah.
So I
Understandable.
got depressed. Yeah, fuck you too. So I got depressed and everything.
Hmm.
I had like
Real quick.
issue and all.
Real quick. I interrupt your
Yes.
story. Something I should have said at the very top of one other thing I should have said at the top of the podcast. First of all, this is going to be an explicit podcast. You're going to hear swear, say probably a lot of dirty things. That's just the way we are. If you don't
Yes.
like it, fuck off. Secondly,
Yeah.
if you came here for this to be like they're going to talk about mental illness. Oh, this will be interesting. If you think this is us going to be talking seriously about the topic, you're wrong.
No.
Might not be the place for you. If you want to just hear us vent and talk about what we personally think about the topic, then
Mm-hmm.
come feel free to join. If you're not easily offended and all that kind of jazz, come join us. It's all good. Um, or
Also,
however,
you
this might
can
not be the podcast for you.
join us in by typing in the chat and everything. So join
Yeah,
the
that's
conversation.
if anybody is joining us live on Twitch at the moment, yeah, we have chat open. We can see it. Feel free to talk to us. We might respond back. Just depends on what you say. If you're an asshole
Yeah.
about it and you're like just being a complete dickhead on Twitch, then yeah, probably not. But continue your story. I just wanted to get that out there.
Basically depressed and all that shit. So I went to therapy. Well, I went to counseling.
Mm-hmm.
And mine was different. My experience was different from yours, Peach, because I had a. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but I had a female therapist, and
Okay.
there's something about females, women. You guys are a lot more able to express yourself because your emotions, all that, and you guys are very comfortable with your emotions. So she understood. She gave me some good advice and everything. It was helpful because it gave me a place to go to talk to besides my friends and everything. And she did give me some good advice.
Yeah.
But at the same time, uh, I would say it was helpful and I enjoyed my experience. And at one point in time, I don't go there now, no. But at one point, I'm just like, I feel better about myself. I feel stable now. I'm functional. So I'm just going to stop going. And so I stopped going.
Okay. I hear you. Now you said two things I want to touch on the female thing and the say like they
Mm-hmm.
gave you good advice and stuff like that, like you like
Yeah.
helpful. Uh,
Yeah.
which is great. That's the great for you. Like I believe in therapy. I believe that it does work for some people.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I want to make clear is I don't like it for me personally. Like I haven't gotten
Yes.
much out of it. But I completely agree that if like you're feeling depressed or you're anxiety ridden or you feel like you're just not right in the head something, then yeah, go seek out
Mm-hmm.
therapy. Like it is a wonderful thing. You should totally go do it. It's just not for
Yeah.
me personally. I hate it. like you said,
You don't
like you
like
got a
showing your
lot of
feelings.
do what?
I said you don't like sharing your feelings
Not so
to other
much.
people, to
Uh,
strangers.
not so much. And like you said, you got a lot of advice that helped you, and I got a lot of advice from like some of my therapists. Like one of the things, like we talked a lot with my first
Mm-hmm.
therapist, Dr. Thornton. Uh, he talked a lot about like my relationship with my dad, which you can
Mm-hmm.
probably get in. I'm like would freely talk about on this podcast, but we can probably do it another time because we have other topics we want to discuss. And
Yeah.
say my relationship with my father towards the end wasn't great, but the thing you wanted to have me do was write an angry letter to your father. So I wrote an angry letter, came back the next week. He's like, okay, I want you to read the letter. So I read out the letter. Yeah, that was me like kind of saying what was on my mind at the time. And I was like right, I was right while I was even writing the letter. I was like, I don't know what this is doing. I've said all this to people before. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what putting on paper and reading out loud to my therapist is gonna do, but whatever. So I go there, I read it to my therapist. I'm like, okay, there you go. He's like, how does that make you feel? I feel the same as before I read this to you. I feel the same as before I like all these things like relaxation techniques and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
It
I
didn't work for you.
tried all of them. I did it. I tried it, and I still
Mm-hmm.
felt anxious. I still felt depressed. I felt like a fucking crazy person. Still do to this day. Um,
Hey,
and it just didn't seem to. It did not seem to work for me. Again, apparently not for me. Um,
I got you.
Also, you said that the female thing, like females are much more in touch with their emotions. My second therapist here in Florida that I've ever had, the one I was seeing for a short period, um,
Mm-hmm.
Miss, I'm horrible with names, so forgive me. Miss,
Go by faces, not name.
what?
I said you go by faces, not
Yeah,
names.
fuck, what was her name? I can't remember. But is it this is Gambia Clinic? Um, and I used to go there and saw her for a bit, and Amelia, that was her name, Amelia. Um,
Hey,
I saw Miss Amelia, and she again female, and like you said, more touch with emotions, which I get. I guess to a certain extent, she was very more like on the emotional side of things. I guess like she was
mm-hmm.
more what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, sensitive, I guess. I'm not really sure. Like she also tried to teach me all these relaxation techniques. Like one of the techniques she tried
Question:
to teach me what
was she more like? Did she? Can you actually tell that she actually cared about your problems and issues?
I mean,
Do you get that from her?
I guess like I didn't feel like my first therapist, Thornton. Like I didn't feel like he didn't care. Uh,
Yeah.
I didn't like there was no like sensation of me like going there. And I never thought he didn't give a shit about my problems. I never thought that, and I never thought that when I went and saw Amelia. Um, so no, like I don't like there was never a point where I thought, oh, these they don't give a shit about my problems. Um,
Okay.
but yeah, so I guess she was more sensitive. And one of the relaxation techniques like that she tried to teach me there was it was basically go to your happy place.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, this is the dumbest fucking thing in the world, but I'll fuck it, I'll try it. I'll try it. So
So goddamn
like
negative.
where like where is your happy place? So I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like the nerdy thing to say would be like I imagine I'm in a Viking like battle and I'm like slaying folks. That's like exactly that's where my mind first goes when I like daydream is like an awesome like battle or something or like something out of a comic book or something like that. That's where I first go. It's like where's your happy place? Where would you go? I'm like okay, I guess she doesn't mean just daydreaming. So I was like I don't know. Me and my friends always had a good time at the river when we went like or when we would go camping. So maybe camping at the river with my buddies. She's like okay. Now what are you doing at the river? Fucking out fishing, sleeping in a hammock. He's like, okay, okay, go with that. And I'll just take deep breaths and focus on your happy place. So I'd focus on my happy place. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about the river. She's like, now just keep focusing on it. And my brain doesn't work like that. So I'd try to focus on that. But if something was bugging me, if something like was giving me anxiety or like just bugging me out, my brain would like I'd
Mm-hmm.
think about that for 5 seconds and then it just keep going back. I couldn't
Yeah.
stay focused on that. And I went back and I was like, it's not working. He's like, okay, just keep trying it, keep practicing it. I'm like, okay. So I keep, like, and I did. Like, I constantly tried to do it every time I started feeling anxious or like when I was trying to go to bed. Because when I go to bed, my brain just spins a lot of the time. Like, it's just going. Uh,
Yeah.
Thinking about just like dumb shit, stuff that makes me feel bad that I did in my past, like just dumb stuff, like when I was a teenager, or
Regrets.
what?
You have a lot of regrets.
I don't want to say regrets, but just stuff I was like, man, that was really stupid. But and like
I got you.
just like stuff like that, stuff that makes me anxious, stuff that makes me just bug out. And I was
Yeah.
thinking about that at night, and I couldn't sleep. So I tried doing it at night, didn't work. My brain just kept going back. Finally, I went back, and I was like, okay, it's just not working. So okay, we can try something else. Never did try anything else because I like stopped seeing her after a while because she moved from the place I was going to see her at, and I
Mm-hmm.
started going to this thing called vocational rehab because I'm trying to find a job currently, but it's hard to do with my situation, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I can probably find like a run of the mill, like I could probably, if I wanted to, I could probably go work at Sonic, like
Mm-hmm.
like fast food joint if I wanted to. But I've lost a little more information about me. I've lost two of the best jobs I've ever had because of my panic attacks and stuff. So that's why I'm going to book rehab to see if I can actually get a career that I can
Mm-hmm.
keep. Um,
I got you.
yeah, and
Mm.
yeah, that's my experience with therapy. Any other things to say on the subject? Your therapy
Now,
experience?
the only thing I felt was, um, like when I went to my therapy and whatnot, and I first started talking to her and whatnot, I just got the whole sense of, hey, like I just felt she actually cared. Like, hey, I'm talking about my issue. She's like, she actually seemed interested in it. Kind of how you feel when you get a new game or a new book or something like that.
What I don't. I'm not quite getting the comparison. Like, what do you mean?
When I was talking to her for the first time, counseling, therapy, whatever, I just got that whole like. Thing about me is, I love to sit there. I love to sit here and watch people like other people's reactions and emotion and shit like that.
People watch.
So I sit there.
People watch.
Yeah, other people watch. So I was doing that, and to her now, and I also do that to like figure out what type of person people are, like if they actually care or if they don't give a shit, stuff like that. Well, when I was doing that, I saw like the light in her eyes light up, like she just got a new toy, or she actually cared. Is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. I mean, you put
You
it in
get
a
what I'm
really
trying to say?
creepy way, but I understand.
Apparently, that's another one of the things about me. I'm just a creepy person. I
Continue,
do the
continue.
it's creepy as shit. But yeah, people watch. That's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Anyway, moving on. But no, that's the only thing I want to talk about. I mean, Kosher, your happy place was the river.
I mean, I mean,
Was that
that's
the
like the
only
only
thing
place I
you
could think of whenever she was asking me the question, like like give me like a physical location. Doesn't have to be a real one, just like a location that you would go and you feel relaxed. I'm like, I guess at the river with my buddies. Like that was like what popped into my head. And
I was used to biking thing.
I mean, I could have just been like fucking yeah, I'm in a Viking battle and I'm like slaying my foes like the nerdy, like I have Thor's hammer, like something like that. But I mean, what she was asking for was like something like that, like hey, like where do you feel like
Yeah.
relaxed? I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily relaxed in a Viking battle. Like when I'm daydreaming, like I can probably focus on that more, I guess. But when
Yeah.
I tried like different things, I tried doing the Viking battle thing in my head, like when I was doing the exercise.
Mhm.
It's still like I would think about it, but like in the back of my mind, there's still that just seed of like
I
fuck,
got you.
like I hate, like, I'm too focused on this bullshit that I'm thinking about right now to like daydream about
Hmm.
this. Um, and yeah, but you were saying,
No, I was just not crushing. I was just used to biking thing.
no,
I
what
was
is
just
used
making
to
a
Viking
statement.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, again, she was asking like, where do you feel relaxed? So I'm like, I'm not relaxed in a Viking battle. I wouldn't reckon. I mean, it probably like in my head, I'm like, ah, excited or something, like
That's a
uh,
good question, though.
it's like
Now
in
that I'm
my
trying to think
nerddom
about.
kind of brain.
All right. Next question, though.
Hmm. So
That
you
you
brought
want to
up
talk
this before the podcast when I asked you like if you had anything to talk about, which was the classification or like the what classifies someone as crazy, right? Like that's what you were asking
about?
about.
Yeah. Because
Um,
I go around and I see people nowadays, like we said earlier, I people watch,
yeah.
and I also people watch by watching them and listening on their conversations and everything like that. And
Uh huh.
yes, I
Eavesdrop.
eavesdrop. So um, people like, oh, she's crazy, or they see somebody do something out of normal, and they classify that as crazy. So I'm trying to like think, what is crazy and what is actual normal?
I mean, it's a very hard question to answer. Like, I don't know what like a normal um mindset would be, or like a normal like life would be. I guess I don't know. I personally, and I think people kind of as a group that suffer from some kind of mental like
Condition.
I don't I feel like I don't want to say mental illness because I feel like that's like a step too far of what I'm trying to
Mm.
describe. It falls in the same
Condition.
category as well, but someone with
Problem.
mental problems, like your brain doesn't function quite right. People in that category, I think, like to define
We're
themselves as
not
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, not normal. I
we're not
guess I don't
normal.
know. Like, but now I don't want to say that because that can make people feel bad. Like I don't want to say like, no, you're not fucking normal. Like that makes me feel bad. I'd be talking to myself the same way too. But
I'd much
it
rather
does
be
bother
me
me, but
than
it could
be
bother
normal.
some people. But
True.
the like I kind of define myself as crazy because I felt crazy a lot of the times. Like I felt
Mm-hmm.
out of control of my own mind. And and I think a lot of people with mental problems uh, define themselves as crazy just to kind of like the crazy people. That's my group. Like that. Like that's where we
You feel
fit in, or
comfortable.
like that's like yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I feel comfortable. Is like I'm crazy. Like that's my group of people. And I think a lot of people with the mental problems find themselves like that just so they can have like that niche, that like kind of not family, but that group that they fit into.
Category. I got you.
Like they categorize themselves as that. I think that gives them
Mm-hmm.
some kind of comfort. Does me a little bit, I think. I don't know, but
Same here.
like the actual like I don't know medical condition of like you're mentally insane. I don't know. I don't know like what like how you would say like once you like, I don't know what the border is. Like once you cross this line, you are now considered mentally insane.
I would say like if you're crazy or whatnot. For me, a crazy person would be somebody who sits there and I'm trying to think of the craziest thing.
Pulls their hair out, talks to people that aren't there.
Now, I sit there, I do that, I talk to people
No,
that
okay, no. There is a no. What I'm talking about is like you actually visually see somebody that is not actually there, and
okay,
you actually envision them, and like they're speaking to you, and like you're not conscious of it, like you're not consciously controlling it. That's what I mean.
okay,
What you're talking about is you just
gotcha.
talk to yourself. I do that.
Yeah, I
Everybody
just talk to
fucking
myself.
does that. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
I guess my thing would be like crazy. Yeah, just be like, I don't know. See, like you said, it is a hard question because honestly, what is normal?
I don't think you can answer that question like of what is normal. I don't think there is a normal. I think everybody is distinctly different in their own way, so there is no
Mm-hmm.
actual normal. I mean, I guess like what most people would define as normal, I guess, would be like the white picket fence family, and the everybody's happy, like they all got their jollies, blah, 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 all that
To
bullshit.
me, that is crazy. Yo, that is creepy because nobody should be that happy.
Yeah, I find it kind of weird too, but like I don't come from that family like at all. I have a
Same
very
here.
a very different
Interesting
family.
man.
Like my family
Yeah,
is very.
interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, interesting. Let's put it that way. And again, we can get on that topic at another date. But like, I
Same
don't
here.
think there is a normal anymore. I don't think that exists. I think everybody has again a distinctly different personality, a different way of life, different family dynamic. Like there is no normal. Everyone's different.
Yeah,
There may be
I get.
similarities, but no one's normal.
To me, no would be basically somebody who goes to work. Nothing interesting happens to them. They don't do anything. There's nothing interesting about them. They just go to work, come back. They let you live a very boring life.
I wouldn't classify that as normal though. I wouldn't
Really?
personally. Yeah, like he lives that life. I mean, there might be other people that live that life, but I still wouldn't say like the normal is you go to work day in and day out, and nothing interesting happens to you. That's normal. I definitely wouldn't say that.
Like no interesting events.
Everybody has like certain like things happen to them that can be considered interesting, no matter what. I don't think there's one person out there that just like has had nothing happen in their
But
life that
shit,
they would consider interesting.
now we get into another topic. What is classified as interesting? And that it
Oh
goes
my
with the
god.
whole yeah, it
I
goes
don't
with the
know.
whole personal opinion.
I don't know, because I mean, out of the ordinary. But then you say out of the ordinary, you're like, what is ordinary? What is normal again? Like
Mm-hmm.
you're making a loop here. Um,
Yes.
but like just interesting things. What like oh that's interesting. Like and maybe it's opinion based, but whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think anybody's lived a life that they haven't had something different or interesting
Interesting.
or out of the normal,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, happen to them.
Back to our original topic. What is crazy? Like what classifies people as
Well,
crazy?
I looked this up, and
Okay.
the definition of crazy, or I looked up the definition of insane, which is what I think you're more referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Because crazy has like a bunch of definitions. I think you're talking about like the actual like mental like condition of being crazy or insane, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, insane is defined as in a state of mind that prevents normal perception, behavior, or social interaction, seriously mentally ill, or another characterized or caused by madness, an action or quality that does that, or in a state of extreme annoyance or distraction. There's like the three main definitions for it, and like the definition of crazy also falls under those. Um, and I don't know. So I guess just
So
like a mentally ill, but that goes to the question again, like you don't perceive your reality or your situation or your behavior uh, normally, I guess. Which
Mhm.
then again begs the question of like, what is normal? Yeah, normal perception, behavior, social interaction. Then that just goes to again ask the question, what is normal? So
So you can be considered normal because you are able to socialize normally. You can act a
I'm
normal.
not really though. Like
God damn it.
I hate socialization. Like I can't stand it. I am an introvert. Like going out and talking to like random people, trying to make friends with people I don't know, with people that I have nothing in common with. Like just going out and trying to talk to people stresses me out, causes me anxiety. I don't like it. I am an introvert. Like that's just me.
See, I'm the same way, but yet when I go out in public, for some reason, people just are attracted to me. They start talking to me. Random people just start talking to me.
Uh,
I don't get why.
you give all because you're a happy like go lucky looking motherfucker. Like I
Thanks.
sit like if I go out unless I'm drunk. Like if you get me drinking, then yeah, I could probably be a social fucking butterfly eventually. But if I'm sober and I go out to like a parade or some kind of party sober or whatever, some kind of social interaction, I'm probably gonna go in the corner if I have music available. I'm gonna listen to music and probably not talk to anybody. And like
Same
if you
here.
see me sitting in the corner and it's just okay, I don't want to. He's not giving off an approachable vibe. I don't want to go talk to that person. But some
See, I
people,
do the exact same thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yes. And then there's some people that will see that person and be like, I'm gonna go talk to that person. I'm gonna go see what they're about. They look lonely or
Mhm.
something. Uh,
So I look. That's good. Okay, I look lonely. Then.
no, that's not what
Just
I'm
go with that.
saying. That's what some people can perceive. Like people that do like me and you, like just okay, I'm gonna go in the corner and listen to music, or
Oh yes.
basically ignore everyone. Um, they'll see that and be like, okay, I need to go interact with that person. They seem like they're having a bad time, whatever. I need to go talk to them. There are some people that are
Mm,
just social butterflies. Uh,
yeah.
I'm not one of those people. But the original question of like what
But
makes you
see.
crazy though is if you go by the definition.
Oh,
Oh, see me? Yes.
okay. Mhm. Yeah, I'm still here. I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear
Sorry.
me?
By the way, everybody, if you didn't notice, we are doing this on Skype, so there might be some technical issues. Sorry about that. But
Yeah.
we're back. Everything's good. But the original thing of like what is defined as crazy, if you go by that, it's as don't perceive your social interactions or behavior, or you don't like your perception of life isn't normal, or you're considered mentally ill. So to answer that question, we'd have to define what mentally ill is, which I don't know, and then
Yeah.
what normal is. I don't know. I don't know like what is the norm. Couldn't uh, describe it. Let's see something. Hang on.
I don't think there is a norm now because of the way society is.
Yeah,
Because everything, everybody's different.
yeah.
Everybody has their own personal taste.
So the first definition, if I Google this definition of mentally ill, mental illness refers to a wide range of mental health conditions, disorders that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior. Examples of mental illness include depression, anxiety disorders, schizophrenia, eating disorders, addictive behaviors. Many people have mental health concerns from time to time. So if you define mental illness as that, then I can say without a doubt I am mentally ill because I can check off a couple of those things. Um,
Same here.
but yeah, so yeah, I guess you could say yeah we're mentally ill or whatever. But
Woo! Yay! Team
whoa,
mentally ill.
we are the mentally illest of people. Can we put that on a T-shirt? Mentally illest.
And sell it.
Yeah, the mentally illest. No, like the hibbity
Yes.
hops, Stephen.
Which is good. Now I agree with you.
All right, let's move on. We talked about like trying to define crazy, which we can't really do, um, or insane, crazy, insane, or normal. Any of those things we can't really define. Um,
Yeah.
let's move into a talk. Maybe we can talk more about which I have on here. Dip.
You go to Lima Company. You do your time there. You know, you get bail and all that, and we'll let you pick up where you left off. You don't have to do all that other bullshit, which was a 5K, a 10K, and a 12K height, which are basically miles. One was 20K high. I mean, anyway, one is 12.5 mile high. It's the highest. Anyway, so I was like, okay, cool, I'll go do that. So I went to Lehman Company. I got better, and then they're like, because I don't want to do paperwork, or because I don't want to do this and that, you have to do all this all over again.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was still suffering from pneumonia, and I wouldn't do my bike and not handle any more heights or anything like that, and I was just depressed.
Yeah.
I was depressed, and I felt like I had no way out. And I had two options in my three options I came up in my head. Option one was, hey, I can either suck it up and try to do this again, which 9 out of 10 I'd probably fail and I'd be stuck here again, just repeating this shit all over again. Option two was, I can just say fuck it and tonight just get in a taxi cab and go to the airport and just come home.
Yeah.
And then option C was, anyway, one is 12.5 mile high. It's the highest. Anyway, so I was like, okay, cool, I'll go do that. So I went to Lehman Company. I got better, and then they're like, because I don't want to do paperwork, or because I don't want to do this and that, you have to do all this all over again.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was still suffering from pneumonia, and I wouldn't do my bike and not handle any more heights or anything like that, and I was just depressed.
Yeah.
I was depressed, and I felt like I had no way out. And I had two options in my three options I came up in my head. Option one was, hey, I can either suck it up and try to do this again, which 9 out of 10 I'd probably fail and I'd be stuck here again, just repeating this shit all over again. Option two was, I can just say fuck it and tonight just get in a taxi cab and go to the airport and just come home.
Yeah.
And then option C was, you know what, screw this life, maybe the next one will be better, and just kill myself.
Yeah.
So I was more leaning towards option C because I found out while I was doing boot camp and things like that, I don't like taking the coward way out, which is giving up. To me, the coward way out is giving up and all that shit. And I don't like giving up.
Yeah.
I would like to see things to the end and everything like that. I don't like to quit. So that was not happening, and I did not feel like having to redo this stuff to keep redoing and redoing it. So I was leaning more towards option C, which was killing myself. But lo and behold, I sucked it up, and I got past all that shit.
Yeah.
Because I talked to my first sergeant actually from here in the reserve station. He called me while I was up there, and he got me through it and everything like that. So I came all the way back here to my reserve station after I graduated from there. And I was still depressed because there was a bunch of corruption going on in that freaking station, my reserve station here. And it was just a depressing time. It sucked. It was basically because I'm a sergeant or I'm a higher ranking officer, I can do whatever the hell I want to.
Yeah.
And so because you guys don't have a lot of water or whatnot, it's not my problem in those 100 degrees, stuff like that. So a lot of shit happened. I just got depressed. And again, I was thinking about, hey, I'm trying to find a way out. And that's when I went to therapy and stuff like that. So.
Gotcha. And going through all that, I find it interesting the thing you said of you don't like taking the coward's way out. Which, thing about it, option C of killing yourself could have also been the coward's way out. So that may have also been a factor of another reason you didn't do it. Thank God, you didn't go through it or anything, and you can also see that as a cowardly way out of giving up, just offing yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm because me and you were not big religious people, so I'm it was interesting, what would happen? Will the pain just end, and then I feel nothing? I just go to sleep, or that's it. That's nothing.
Beautiful, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
I feel you.
So, yeah.
My bout with depression when I was 18. Uh, were you?
Damn.
You may have been in the military. I think we may have been. I don't know. Were we going through this at the same time, or
I went to wait 18.
no? You were
I
there.
was
You
still
were no. You were with me through some of that shit. So no, this was after you got out. My shit
no,
was
I was
after
still in it.
yours.
No,
No,
I
no,
was
no,
still
no,
in it.
no.
I was
Because
talking
remember,
about
I,
that night.
yeah, I'll bring some of this up. Wait, were you still? Oh, you must have come
Yeah,
back like
I was
for
I was going in. I was getting towards the end of it, but I was
yeah.
still going through that shit.
You were still in the military, but you were
I
like
would
on
go to therapy.
break.
Yeah, I would go to therapy.
Okay. Anyway, my battle with it was uh, I had just lost currently the best job I'd ever had working at the industrial power plant. Um,
Mm-hmm.
just lost that job and going through a lot of this anxiety bullshit and having these crazy ass panic attacks. I had no idea where they were coming
Fucking
from,
panic attack. Mm-hmm.
and lost the best job I ever had. And I don't know what it was. Just the combination of all these things. Wait, was I 18? Hang on.
I thought you were 20.
No,
Hey, at least
it was
19.
not 20. Trying to think if it was before or after my dad died.
After
Yeah, it was definitely after. That's right, because we had moved to
to
Prattville.
that practice.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. My dad had just died. I was going through all this anxiety shit, and I was having like these crazy panic attacks. I didn't know where they're coming from. And because of that, I lost the best job I ever had. All this
Mm-hmm.
stuff had happened, which just threw me into this depression, and like I like I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to stay in bed and either sleep or just like watch TV or play video games. Like that's all I wanted to do. Like, I had no,
Yeah,
I had no drive, I had no energy, I had nothing. That's all I did,
I remember that.
and
Yeah.
I got to a point where I kind of felt the same way or did, not even kind of, I did feel the same way you did. Of life sucks. God, it would
It's
be
just
kind of
it,
just such an easy way out to just end it.
yeah.
To off like, and I would have. I don't know if I want to call them urges, but like just inklings in my mind of like I'd be driving home, I'd be driving over a bridge and be like, I could sharply turn, I could just jerk the steering wheel right and just go off this bridge, just be done.
Mm-hmm.
I could just do that if I wanted to. I would have those
Oh,
thoughts in
yeah.
my head, but I never did it. Uh, and then and this will bring us kind of into another topic that we'll get onto in like a few minutes. And then like whenever I would go and hang out with you guys, and we would get to drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to therapy. All this shit had happened to me. I was depressed already. And whenever you're drinking or taking any kind of drugs or anything, it's a big mindset thing of how it affects you. So I was drinking, and like the first time it happened, I was drinking and I was having an all right time, and then I just went outside and just sat down by myself. Everybody else was asleep. I was still drunk. I went outside, sat down by myself, and it just started pouring out of me. I was crying. I mean, like disgusting crying, like just bawling my eyes out, just salty tears, snot,
Yeah.
spit. Like, oh god, it's so embarrassing to think about now. But like, I looked disgusting. I must have, and that was the first time it happened. You guys came out there and like sat me down. Like, it's
You
okay.
called
I called. Yeah, that's right. I called you. I was
me.
like,
You
hey
woke
man, I
me
need
up and
somebody to
called
fucking
me.
talk to.
Hey, you text me. I'm like
Yeah,
what?
and I texted
Huh?
you to come out there with me because I wasn't going in the house like that. And then like, you came out there and Cody came out there and like y'all like stabbed me down. Like, it's okay, you drunk bastard. Like get it all out.
Yeah.
The second time,
Hey, it was good. You
yeah,
need to let it out anyway, so
friends are
it was good.
for.
Yeah.
Second time is probably the closest that inkling or that urge to end it ever came, which was
Mm-hmm.
I was drinking with you guys. I thought I was having a good time. Like it'd been a while since I had that episode drinking. I didn't drink for a long time
Yeah.
after that happened. But I was still going through depression and stuff. And then I was like, all right, I want to have a few beers. I wasn't like super drunk or anything. I was definitely tipsy, but I wasn't super drunk or anything. But same thing. Like you guys were inside, going to sleep. I couldn't sleep. I rarely can when I'm drinking. So I went outside, sat down, had a cigarette, started smoking, started staring up at a fucking tree, and like I was
with
like,
the extension cord.
yeah, yeah, and I was like, man, I
Yeah,
could just wrap that fucking extension cord around my neck and just hang myself from that goddamn tree right now. And like that was
yeah,
the strongest urge I had to do it. So I'm like, I gotta call Steven to come out here with me. So I
yeah,
text you. I'm like, you have to come out here and sit with me. Like I can't be by myself right now. So I got you out
yeah. That's
there.
what I told Cody.
We talked more, and you know,
We got through it, buddy.
nothing
We
happened.
got
I
through it.
never went through with it. I never even tried to do it. I had a very strong urge to do it once, and like that was it. And then after that, like I got through the depression, and I'm here now. Will I ever hit that place again? Maybe. Who knows? Like I wouldn't classify
Hey,
myself as depressed right now.
just
Definitely
let me know. I'll drive 3 hours.
not. Yeah,
That's what Buzz for.
yeah. And then one of the other things I want to talk about on the topic of depression is one of the things that kind of bugs me about like people. I'll hear people say like they'll be talking about a certain situation in their life that has made them sad or upset, and they'll classify it as
Mm,
like, oh, man, I'm just depressed, man. Like, are you really? Like, are you
no,
sure? Like, I'm suffering from depression. And like, I'll see them, and like, listen, I don't know how they like inside their head there is, but like knowing them, and it's been people I've been really close to that have said it. And I like they're like,
mm,
I'm really depressed, and like their actions and stuff. Like I've been through like the
I know
shit
who you're talking
full
about.
of you, and like I've heard people say, oh, I'm depressed, and I know what they're going through. I'll look at them
Hmm.
and just be like, you're
You
sad,
know.
you're
Hmm.
upset, you're sad that
Hmm.
whatever this just happened. Nothing big, nothing like
Yeah.
heartbreaking or devastating happened to you. Like why are you depressed right now? Like, why would you be classified as depressed? You're sad. You're upset. So when people are like, "Oh, now I'm depressed," that's not a casual word you throw around. All right, like there is
No, it's not.
depression and then there's sad. There's like you don't meld the 2.
They were just fucking sad.
Mm-hmm. They were upset. Like they were having a bad
Yeah.
day. They weren't like clinically depressed like me and you have gone through. Like it's a fucking.
Hmm. They weren't talking about suicide or any of that shit. They were just,
Well, now
uh,
I will say like just because like if no depression doesn't always lead to suicide. It doesn't always lead
oh
into that
no.
territory. It like led into like the thought process of it with me and you, but like,
Hmm.
you can be depressed without having those thoughts.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but there are definitely like symptoms and like things that happen when you're depressed. I was like I knew this
Like you
person,
don't
I
eat.
knew these people that would say, I'm like, okay, no, you're not going through it. I know
No,
you're
you
not going
just
through
sad.
it. Trust me, you're fine. Um,
Yeah. Like depression and whatnot. It's just like sort of symptoms are like what sad, not sadness. Not eating. Like
I don't really
you
know
know
the
what I'm trying to
symptoms. I
say.
know what I went through. Like if I had to give myself symptoms, it was low energy, no drive, like didn't want to do
Mm-hmm.
anything, just want to sleep all day. And then my symptoms led into suicidal thoughts. I wouldn't say behaviors because I never went through with any of them,
Mm-hmm.
but it led into those kind of symptoms. Um,
Yeah.
and hey, maybe I'm an asshole saying like, "Oh, you're not depressed." You like maybe I'm the asshole like saying that to that person. Maybe they were going through some shit and I just didn't know it. But at the time, like it seemed to me like I had been through it before. So like when someone had said it and I saw them as fine, it kind of pissed me off a bit. So
I got
you
you.
know, we have
I
feelings. We can be wrong about shit.
Hey, that's what friends are for, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Ah.
that's what friends are for. Yes.
But yeah.
Oh man. But no, it's all good. I mean,
So
and then another thing that gets me is
yeah,
the people that sit there and be like, "Oh, I know how you feel" and all that shit.
when
They
you
sit
go
there and say,
full
"I
well,
know."
like have you been through, XYZ, like
Yeah,
whatever? And they're like, well,
yeah.
no, but then you don't fucking know.
No,
Yeah, I
like,
understand.
okay, you can sympathize with me, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, but don't sit there and say you know exactly how I feel because you don't know exactly how I feel. You don't know what I'm going through or anything like that. Just,
Hmm.
just Do your thing over there. If you want to feel sorry for me, cool. Just do it over there. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I have the same thing. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a lot of little things like that that'll bug me that certain people say, like, I know how you're going through, or I feel for you, you know, blah blah blah. Like, just shut up. Just shut up. Just be like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's all. Like, I can like accept to
Mm-hmm.
hear when like I'm
There you
going
go.
through something. Like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Fine. Or like if somebody dies, my condolences. Fine. Like
There you go.
whatever. Like that's all I want to hear. Then leave me the fuck alone. Like, I just want to
Mm-hmm.
like let my brain process this and go through it. I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
That's generally how I feel about it. So,
Same. Yeah.
we're almost on the hour mark. So, before we end this, is there anything we just kind of did a little bit with some of that? Is there anything you want to vent about? Is there anything like that just pissed you off? That you want to get off your chest? Anything like something that's happened this week or in the past or like anything?
Other thing that happened this week that pissed me off, which I told you about, I believe, was the old woman at where I work at, whatnot, coming in and being like,
Yeah.
I just told the woman, hey, I cannot give you cash back because you use a debit card. You have to use the same debit card to I have to put the money back on the same debit card.
Yeah.
I can't give you your cash back. And then she just get the attitude of, well, Best Buy did it. We're not fucking Best Buy, bitch, okay?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. Like,
thing.
people, when you go and buy shit, be happy, be generous, treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole about it. Like, if somebody piss you off, walk away.
Mm-hmm. I feel.
Don't just, yeah.
That's the only thing
That's
that
it.
got you this week.
Yeah. No, it's still early in the week. Just
Yeah, it's still early in the week, or like whenever. It could have been whenever, but
oh, it's still early in the week. So give it a minute. I'm still with my family, so
yeah, yeah.
you know. But what about you?
Me, I can give one something that bugged the shit out of me all night. I lost sleep over it. Uh, I was online. I was watching this video game stream. You know, like people on Twitch, like
Mm-hmm.
we're on now. They stream video games. People watch them. Yada yada. You interact on chat. Blah blah blah. So I was watching this video game stream, and these guys were playing this game, and they were doing some online like multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
And they were like fighting people online. And I was watching them, and I was like kind of paying attention to chat, 'cause chat can be entertaining sometimes. Paying attention to chat as they were playing it, and like they were like got killed or would kill the other person, and they would always go. The people on the chat would be like, "Oh, raped! Oh, you raped him! Oh, they got raped!" Da, da, da. And if you know me, you know someone very. I won't say the names. I don't
Yeah.
know if they want me to mention it like on this kind of public thing, but someone very close to me got raped. That happened to them,
Mm-hmm.
and ever since that, like people that say it like use that casually, like in conversation, like, "Oh man, really raped him. Oh, get raped. He got raped." Like
I
that
got you.
fucking infuriates me. So I said in a very polite manner, got on chat. I don't usually participate in chat, but I got on chat and I said, "Hey, if you use the term rape in casual as a casual phrase or in casual conversation, you're an asshole. Enter, send it." And then I got all these people like, "No one gives a shit what you think, Phil. No one cares. Oh, get raped. Rape's funny." All that, like all this shit. And I, like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, I went off. Like, I wasn't yelling physically, but I just in my head like was going off, and like I just thought about that for the rest of the night, and it bugged the fuck out of me, and I hated it.
Yeah.
Like, it infuriated me to a level where I lost sleep. I couldn't stand to hear it anymore, and I was like, ugh. It's like it just yeah, that's what I can get off my chest
Hey,
today.
it's okay. I know what you mean. People are assholes.
People are
And people
assholes.
just don't give a fuck.
That's why I
That's
don't.
all.
That's why I wouldn't want to work with like a large group of people, because I would just fucking hate it. People are dumb.
Same
People are
here.
assholes. Society's dumb.
And this is why I say I am not a people person.
That's true. So, it's about on the hour mark. I think we can call it there, guys. This has been Off Your Rocker, episode 1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you joined us live, which I saw a few people did, if you joined us live, congratulations. I'm happy you did. And that was our first episode. The doctor is out. And again, I'm not a doctor. This is BJ Krause.
This is Steven.
Steven what?
What?
Say it. Just say your last name. God damn it.
Yeah,
There you
I say
go.
Steven. Yeah,
Peace.
yeah. You happy?